What do you think? Should I do some more YouTuber expressive positions? Hey Snowboard Addiction, Taevis here, and in this video we're going to teach you how to backside 540. Let's get after it. Is that good? In order to learn a backside 540, you're going to need to be able to do backside 360 and backside 180. After that, the main challenge of this trick comes from learning how to spot the knuckle and letting your body rotate around that point. This is what we call a constant spot. The best way to practice any 540 is on trampoline, and ideally with one of our Snowboard Addiction tramp boards. The skills you're trying to lock in on trampoline is the constant spot with the consistent rotation. To do this, you need to lock your eyes on a point of a trampoline and let your body rotate around that point, trying to get as little head movement as possible. The ideal backside 540 has you spotting the knuckle around 270 and locking your eyes on the knuckle as your body rotates around that point, finishing you off in that blind landing position. The form you will be using is the back three from your takeoff with the blind landing spot from the back one. It's important to make sure you're not getting caught up on your arms by letting them come in to the center of your torso. Your arms should always be slightly away from your body. Not spread out, but just slightly away so you're not getting caught up on your arms. It's also important to make sure your knees are in a strong stacked position. This means you're not letting your knees cave in towards each other. Keeping your knees out, knees straight over your toes, stacked. These two things are going to really do a lot to help you get a constant rotation and feel stable in the air. Having your arms out will let you lead the rotation with your upper body, as well as keeping your spot underneath your arm, but will let you spot the knuckle much sooner. Let's talk a bit more about the spotting under the arm, because this is a super crucial, often overlooked aspect of spinning. If you try to spot over your shoulder, what it's going to do is disconnect your upper body from lower body, making you too tall in the torso. It will also make it so you need to look around to spot the landing. Where if you shift your spot to under your arm, you'll be able to go and keep your body stacked in a tight position, snap, look under your arm, spot the knuckle right away, and then hold the spot the whole time. The slight change of spotting under your shoulder versus over your shoulder is one of the most crucial parts of getting a constant smooth rotation, and it's one of the things that will help your riding the most. Spotting over the shoulder also causes something called a double spot. A double spot is when you go, spot the landing, and then flick your head around again to try spot it again, giving you a moment of blindness. Where our goal on a backside 540 is having a constant spot for the whole spin. So by shifting your view to under your arm, you'll be able to go and spot the knuckle all the way at 180 and hold that spot the whole time, making sure you're not blind for any point of a rotation and you're holding a strong form the whole time with as little head movement as possible. And it's this still position that will give you really powerful backside 540s. It's always best to do your tricks off the smallest jump possible when learning. There's two reasons for this. First of all, it eliminates a lot of risk of hitting a bigger jump. Second, the most crucial part is it makes it so you can't cheat your form. The more air you have, the more you'll be able to get away with. But on a small jump, you'll need to make sure your takeoff, spot, and landing are absolutely dialed in order to fully do the trick. This is why it's best to learn your tricks on small jumps, because then later you'll be able to transfer them to bigger jumps and bigger tricks without the same issues you would have if you started off on bigger jumps. The back five is really just building off the backside 360. So warm up with a few backside 360s, making sure that you're landing in your stacked position in the sweet spot of the jump. Once you do that, you're ready to try the 540. Use the exact same approach you use on your backside 360. You'll only need to use slightly more power. This is because the backside 540 are what we call a cheat spin. A cheat spin means you can finish the trick with counter rotation, allowing you to whip around your body an extra 180 right at the last moment. Your first few back fives will be like this, similar to a backside 360, but smashing a quick counter rotated back one onto the end of the trick. As you improve, you'll start to have a constant rotation through the whole spin, what will make your back fives more stylish and controlled. Backside 540s have you blind for the initial start of the spin, so expect to not see the knuckle until around 270. Once you see the knuckle, Hold your vision on it as you continue to rotate around your spot. If you go deep, you'll lose track of the knuckle. This is completely okay. Just keep your spot uphill, trying to keep your eyes looking past your back foot. This will help you kill your rotation and keep your stacked position. When coming into your blind landing, you want to make sure you're not leaning into your spot. Instead, make sure you're just tilting your chin down while keeping your body stacked and tall. This will help you fully absorb the impact while going and holding that blind landing position. It's only a chin tilt, so you don't need to get your body up and over into your spot. The more stacked you are hitting the landing, the easier it will be to absorb the impact and stop yourself from spinning out. The more stacked you are on the landing, the better. So really go and focus in on figuring out how to tilt your chin down towards the snow without having your body follow. The first few backside 540s you do, you'll probably have a really hard time tracking the landing and knowing where you are in the air. This is completely normal, and it's something that will fade with time. As long as your spot is set at the knuckle and you're training that constant spot rotation, eventually you'll be able to see it more and more until eventually you'll know exactly where you are in the air at all times. There are two things that will help you stomp your backside 540s. The first is your blind landing. A blind landing refers to looking back uphill as you land. This happens naturally as you go over the knuckle and continue to track the knuckle with your spot. The reason why this works is because it makes it so your upper body is rotated towards the jump. So when you land, you have time to disperse that rotation without needing to generate that force into your heel edge. The next tool you can use is counter rotation. Counter rotation lets you use your lower body to rotate the last 180 on a back 5. Using counter rotation also slows down your overall rotation speed. So any part of your spin after you use counter rotation will be much slower. This makes counter rotation a great way to not only speed up your spin, but also kill your rotation, making it easier to hold your blind landing, letting you stomp and ride away. The thing that makes both of these work is the constant spot, because it makes it so your head's leading your rotation, letting you then catch up with your lower body, as well as holding the blind landing as you pass the knuckle. I talk about it a lot in this video, but the constant spot is what will let you go and get a good 540. So really put a lot of focus into spotting underneath your arm and locking your eyes on that knuckle and figuring out the body motion to rotate around your spot. The best ways to do this is on trampoline and through practice. It's also the same principles used on a frontside 360. So if you're struggling with the constant spot, go back, maybe do some frontside freeze and translate what you learned from that into your backside 540. Because this constant spot is the difference between a backside 360 and a backside 540. Recap. You want to have a smooth setup carve, slightly stronger snap than for a 360, spotting underneath your shoulder, locking your eyes on the knuckle, rotating around your spot, digging in your toe edge on the landing, holding the blind landing position until you've fully killed your spin. Then look up and ride away. Backside 540s are super difficult if you don't have your backside 360s perfect. It can be really hard to tell if your 360s are dialed in and perfect because there's so much that can go wrong. That's why on Addiction Plus, we offer live coaching and video analysis. So you can take a clip of your 360, submit it to us, and you'll spot if you're breaking out your waist, if your takeoffs are good, and most importantly, if you're ready to try the backside 540. And if you're not, what you can do to then get there. We also have weekly live coaching, what has the same video analysis content. The difference is you join us on a Zoom call and give you real-time feedback on your riding. You don't even need to submit a clip for weekly live coaching. You can just come join in, ask your questions, and we'll do the best we can to help you improve your riding. We made Addiction Plus as affordable as possible in order to help as many riders as we can. Sign up now, get a free trial, and let us improve your riding. Once you've landed your first backside 540, it's time to start grinding them out. Do a bunch of them on little jumps with no grabs, and once you're feeling comfortable, you can start bringing them to bigger jumps and adding grabs. My personal favorite grab for a backside 540 is the stale fish, because it makes it so my back arm's leading the rotation, helping me get the spin around, and it just feels right there. As a warning, back fives are where a lot of people max out their snowboarding tricks. This is because there's a lot of way to cheat a backside 540 and make it work, but it won't then translate to bigger tricks like backside 720s. So if you really want to get a proper backside 540, don't neglect your backside 360s. Be truthful with yourself and make sure you're getting that strong stack takeoff, no drift, and powerful snap off the tail. because it's that strong backside 360 foundation that's going to be crucial for back fives and back sevens. So if you are honestly trying to improve as a rider, spend most of your time on backside 360s, and then once you do, you'll be able to backside five much easier. After that, it's time to start grinding your back fives and grinding your back threes, getting those super powerful takeoffs that let you rotate constantly. Because we're going to use everything we learned up until this point to tackle our next trick, the backside 720. I'm Taevis from Snowboard Addiction, and our goal is to improve your riding.